The Chessington Workshop Tours are back, and this is the very first time that we've had a winter tour. Now, we did the workshop tour last year during the summer when it was first released, and it was just fascinating to see it all. It really was. Kurt did it again in December, and we wanted to do it again during closed season because the park is really only open for zoo at the moment. Nothing else is open as they prepare for February half term. Those that have seen the videos before know that outside we can take videos, inside we do need to take pictures. So we'll put some pictures up over the screen whilst I kind of describe as best I can what is going on. You start with a little talk before moving outside to see some bits and pieces before heading into the workshop. Now outside here, you've got some wheels. These are actually old wheels and they're from various rides, from sort of Rattlesnake to Fury the Vampire. These are ones that are waiting to go off and be re-laminated. They are indeed reused and recycled where they can, where they pass certain tests. But it is more economical to bundle them all up and do it as one. Looks like they're getting to a point where they might be going off soon, but there's certainly a lot to do. Also out here are Dragon's Fury shells. Now, last time we were in the workshop tour, and you'll see it very shortly, we did see some of the cars, but actually didn't see any of the shells. Well, here they are. They are undercover. And again, it's really weird looking at these just as shells, getting up close and just kind of seeing holes in the bottom. Never seen it before, and it was really, really fascinating to see. Now, here are the Sea Storm sails, and we were first to say, where on earth have the sails gone? They're a great bit of theming. And when you get a bit of context behind why they're not there, you kind of understand why they're not there, in honesty. You will see on here some welding points, and there are quite a lot of welding points. This is a Mack ride, and it's an original design. There's been no modifications to it whatsoever. Obviously, it was refurbished not that long ago, but these sails are all original, and you can see kind of from the picture exactly how much welding has gone into them, and that's the sheer force that's put on them all the time. And it's kind of got to a point where they thought, well, do we want to keep welding these, or is it just easier not to have them on there, and better not to have them on there, and arguably more cost effective not to have them on there? So that is why the sails are no longer on there. There's a lot of pressure put on them, and it's a lot of extra work that goes in, which could result in downtime for the ride. Quite honestly, unnecessary downtime for the ride. So that's why they're not there. And we'll also see some mats here as well. Now, these actual mats are what go on the bottom of the Tiger rock boats, and that's what grips, and that's what takes you up the belt. First, let's go inside, and inside now we see Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake is preparing to open for February half term, has 8 cars in total. Very rare you'll see them all down there. We did catch it just before Christmas with all of them in the area, as some were being pulled off from the main season and kind of replaced with ones which had already been worked on. Now, the great news is they tend to run 5 or 6 at once, and they tend to have 5 or 6 down there at once. So to keep the ride operating all year round, if they wanted to, they can just swap these out. It's really interesting on this workshop tour, and I kind of get it. You know, big theme parks from around the world own multiple trains, like loads and loads of trains for their rides, Universal, Disney and things, so they can keep them moving at all times. Whereas the smaller parks, you know, even with like Chessington and things, it's a lot more difficult to do so. However, Chessington are generally in a great position. Where they own 8 cars for Rattlesnake and they tend to operate 5 or 6, they can swap out cars and keep maintenance going throughout the year rather than having it all at once. And as we were told, and we've learnt this from various, from our local theme park down in Funland, you've got a year. You haven't got over a year, you've got a year. And if it's not done within that year, if it goes over that year, you have to stop the ride until it's been retested. So they've got a year. So if you do it all at once, you are really limiting yourself and putting a lot of pressure on the maintenance team, which is what Chessington have tried to change over the last couple of years and done a really good job at doing it. Rattlesnake car here on the pallet, that was ready to go back. And of course, the other ones are being stripped down, having their winter maintenance. We then move round to Dragon's Fury. Now, we did see the shells outside, and here are the actual cars themselves. They own 9 cars for Dragon's Fury, run a maximum of 6. So again, there's plenty of scope for taking them out, refurbishing them, going for all the winter works and testing, summer work, some of them, testing, putting back onto the track, and making sure it's open all year round. And of course, you will have noticed Dragon's Fury was open for Christmas this year and is back open for February because they can do that, which is great to see. And we love getting up close with these Dragon Fury cars. It's just incredible to see them stripped down to absolutely nothing. Now, interestingly, we didn't know that the actual spinning element in the center is hollow. It's not actually steel, a solid steel, it's hollow. And it's not unusual, some of them are hollow, some of them are solid, but these ones are hollow, which I imagine helps the weight of the train. We did also learn as well, it's the first time I knew, that there is a 300 kilogram limit to the car, so it averages about 75 kilos a seat. Now, I'm 82 kilos, so I'm arguably over the average, but generally a family would go on there and have 2 younger children, which is why you would then fit the 4 in, but when you've got 4 adults on there, it's why you'd be overweight. So that is the reason for the weighing on it, just to get it accurate, keep within the manufacturer's guidelines. But even seeing the mechanism as well, I love seeing the restraint mechanism, all the little teeth on there and just how it interacts, and we've been shown it before. You have to have a specialist qualification to work on this. Not all the engineers at the park can work on this. It's really quite a tricky one. Love it, absolutely love it. We then move down to Vampire. Vampire Train 3 is currently in here and is being worked on. Some of it is done. You'll be able to obviously pick up that some of it looks nice and shiny and new, where it's all been stripped down, tested, wheels have been replaced, bearings, everything's been replaced that needs to be replaced. If you are if you're on the channel, you will see another Vampire video coming up very, very shortly, and you'll learn a little bit more about that. But for in here, this is Train 3. Now the shells for these, the actual seating parts, aren't actually in here. These are tested elsewhere, but these are the mechanisms which are stripped down and rebuilt in the workshop, because obviously it's easier to do so, and there's a lot of moving parts to these. These are heavy. Really, really heavy. It might sound stupid because they don't actually look that big when you look at them sort of on the floor, but they are big. And it takes a lot of time to kind of strip it down and test it all and put it all back together. But of course, they are lucky to have 3 trains, and they have 2 trains in operation at all times, so they can swap in and out to make sure the ride is open all year round should they need to. Again, we'll get more to that in another video. And here are the brakes. Now, interestingly, we did say last year that they have replaced some of the brakes. So the first one is the original Arrow brake, and they do still use it in some areas of the track. They will all be replaced, but not quite yet. And these, you can see different rivets and things where it's had to be sort of re-drilled and re-put together just because of the way the brake's made. Perfectly safe, but just the way they have to do it. Whereas now you see the new Vekoma brakes, and the Vekoma brakes from the suspended coasters fit Vampire, and that's what they've been replacing them with. These are currently been installed in the high brake areas, particularly the last brake run, for instance, where it comes in. And that is because these are actually replaced more frequently than you would think, sort of, month, not sort of yearly. They're replaced a lot. And the Vekoma ones are very much these pads, just pop out, pop back in, whereas the Arrow ones require quite a lot of maintenance. So it will help the uptime of the Vampire, possibly not in 2025 or end of 2025, but going forward, it will definitely help that. And again, some more views of the train as well as it gets put back together. This is the one that's being worked on now, and it's actually Train 2 that's coming off. We then go into the maintenance shed and into the parts area of the maintenance shed, and there are still over £1 million worth of parts in here, from bolts to wheels to belts to restraints. Staggering just how much they actually keep. We've said it before, but I think a lot of people think that they just wait for something to go wrong and then get the part. That's just not the case. They hold what they can hold to get the ride back up and running as quickly as possible. And they do actually have a more high value area as well, which that not many people have access to, in order to, get parts that maybe don't go wrong very often, so they can get the ride back open. And generally uptime has been improved over the last couple of years, definitely. And you can definitely see when you walk around here, it's just staggering just how much of it they actually have. But that is the workshop itself. Now, a quick update from around the park, around Adventure Point. We can see the water wheel is back, which is great news. That area is looking much better. And they are refreshing and repainting the restaurants as well as the shop front and back. Elmer will return for 2026. That is undergoing a refurbishment. Won't be open at the start, I don't think, of 2026, but will be coming back. Chessington World of Adventures Workshop Tour. absolutely brilliant. Make sure you're staying here on the channel and you'll see some other areas as well.